Welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast with your host, Funk Roberts.
We are live, and welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast. This is episode number 128, and I'm your host, Funk Roberts. Known around the world as a guy who helps men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond completely transform their bodies and their lives through mindset, workouts, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and of course, naturally increasing testosterone levels. And today I am super excited to have my good friend, the white Funk Roberts. As to him, I am the black Clark Bartram. That's right. Clark Bartram is back. The legend. He is a legend in the fitness world. The visual I'm holding up, him on the cover of one of many fitness magazines, but, just to set up this episode, because we're going to talk about prostate cancer. We're going to talk about Clark's incredible journey through battling prostate cancer. I don't even know if the word battling is the right word, because the way he's going through this, educating himself, educating us, it's incredible. 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer, which is why it's so important to get your PSA checked. Extremely important to get all of your blood markers checked on an ongoing basis. But if you've never had that testosterone, PSA, which is the prostate antigen, you got to start, implementing that into your life. You got to start, and you don't even have to go to the doctor to do it. You can do it through home tests, right? I have a live home test. Clark's got home tests, which he'll talk about. You can even reach out to me at Funk Roberts Fitness on Instagram, and I'll give you a link to my home tests, because we have a whole bunch. But the whole point is, if you've listened to one of our older episodes with Clark Bartram, past episodes with Clark Bartram that I've had in the past, then you know how much of a legend Clark is in the world of fitness. I've been following Clark since my teen years. When I was a teenager is when I first started to follow Clark. On TV. I watched him on TV. I read about him in magazines. So, if you look at episode number 63, you'll learn more about Clark, because it's really important to know about the history of who this man is, everything that he's done from the covers of magazines to, watching him on ESPN on the beach, working out with a show and following those workouts, to being Batman, to in a movie, to, the stuff he was doing online with men over 40, 50, 60. We're in the same niche. And me following him the entire time, literally the entire time, looking up to him the entire time. And now, he's on a journey to battling prostate cancer. He has prostate cancer, and now he's the spokesperson, as far as I'm concerned, the spokesman when it comes to battling prostate cancer, and educating us on what it is, the treatments, what to do, what not to do, the mistakes that he had made, and everything in between, and the importance of our health, the importance of nutrition, the importance of workouts, the importance of our surroundings, right? Because it's not just about eating healthy. It's not just about losing that belly fat. It's not just about naturally increasing your testosterone, moving, working out, getting, keeping stress levels down. Of course, that's what we need to be doing at our age, but it's also about all of the other things that we, use that have heavy metals and other things that could be deteriorating our immune system, right? And so it's important that we get tested to see where we're at, so we know where to go. And luckily, if you have been diagnosed with anything, whether it's cancer, whether it's high blood pressure, whether it's, cholesterol issues or heart issues, whatever it is, they have diabetes, you have people in place that can help reverse it. You have people in place that can help go through that battle. And when it comes to prostate cancer, you have Clark Bartram, who is here to help you through this battle. And one of the things I mentioned is nutrition. And so if you don't know, my new book, Nutrition for Men Over 40, you can go to over40meals.com, over40meals.com. This is the blueprint to nutrition for men in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, because we can't use the same diets that you see out there, right? And we can't eat the same way we used to because we're going through physiological changes in our bodies. We're going through hormone changes that those diet plans and those restrictive diets and the way we've been eating up to this point will not work for us. We need to eat foods in a specific way, and this book has everything. It needs a blueprint. It's got a full 30 days meal plan. It's got obviously information on why we need to eat the MetaTest Boost Nutrition Way. And I'm going to hook you up with this book, physical book, free if you live in the US. All you have to do is pay a little bit of shipping. Go to over40meals.com and click the US button, or the digital version and audio version, which you get with the physical. But if you're international, outside of the US, I'm going to give you the digital version, the audio book version, so you can listen to a professional narrate this book. You can learn digitally, and I'm going to throw in 6 different bonuses as well. Over40meals.com. Listen, nutrition is one of the biggest hurdles for us guys. And when it comes to battling prostate cancer, or ensuring that we are one of the 6 that don't get it, when it comes to battling or making sure that we don't get other cancers in our body or cancerous things in our body, when it comes to being pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, when it comes to having high blood pressure, when it comes to heart issues or cholesterol issues, when it comes to having belly fat or low testosterone, your libido issues, no energy, the list goes on. You can't outtrain a bad diet, which is I'm just standing up right now for those of you who are watching or listening. It's all about nutrition. You got to start with that nutrition. You got to get a hold on nutrition. This is a nutrition lifestyle. So you eat this. I made it so easy that you eat this way for the rest of your life. And this is not just me coming out with this book going, oh, you know what? I'm going to create a book. No, thousands and thousands of men in my Over 40 Alpha Brotherhood. If you go to the page, our testimonial page, you'll literally be scrolling for 30 minutes, looking at the before and afters and reading the stories of how they've used this exact MetaTest Boost nutrition system, everything that's in this book, to completely transform their bodies, their health, and their lives. So go to over40meals.com, over40meals.com, over the number 40meals.com. Choose US if you live in the US, and I'm going to ship this to you to your door. You get the physical copy, just a little bit of shipping, because I've already paid for the book. I've already paid for my publisher to print out these books. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. It's super, super cheap, cheaper than you would if you bought this on Amazon, because it's a bestseller on Amazon. I'll throw in the digital audio book as well. Or if you're outside of the US, then click on international, get the audio book, the digital book, all of those bonuses, and start your nutrition journey today. Let's get to this podcast. Clark Bartram is going to take us through his story. He's going to educate us on the importance of why we need to get tested, what prostate cancer is, and how he is going to help anybody out there who is battling with anything regarding cancer, because he's educating himself more than most people would. So without further ado, enjoy the podcast. Welcome to today's episode. This is a very, very important episode, probably one of the most important episodes you are going to listen to ever. Like, this is it. 2024, the beginning of the year. The legend Clark Bartram in the fitness industry is here to talk about the prostate and prostate cancer. And so let's welcome Clark. Clark, thank you so much for being on here, man. Thank you so much. This is long overdue, for sure.
Yeah, brother. First, let me say this. I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you for the opportunity to speak on your platform, because you've invested a lot of time and energy and effort into creating what I feel is one of the best coaching programs out there on the planet today. You know, if I look outside of what I do, which I think very highly of, I look at you and think that is the only other person on planet Earth I would refer a man over 50 to, because I know, based upon all of the stuff that I've seen you do over the years, they're in good hands, man.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. And ditto too, as well. You know, I love what you do. I mean, I've been following you since I was a kid, literally like a teenager, like watching you on ESPN. You know, you were always somebody that was always in the forefront of my mind. Like, so I followed you like literally while I was an athlete. Like, you know, I had you, I have tons of, if I go back to all of my fitness magazines, you're on the cover of pretty much half of them, pretty much. And, you know, watching on TV, watching you with Batman, like everything you've done. And then when we got online and then seeing us both being in the same kind of space over the years, man, it was it's just incredible, and I continue to look up to you because now you have a new challenge, a new. Well, let's dive into it. Let's talk about you know what you're battling with right now, and then what is it too? Because yeah, let's just start there.
Yeah. So I see it as a new opportunity, in all honesty. And anyone that knows me knows it's on brand for me to say I'm the perfect guy to get prostate cancer, because I'm taking the platform that I already have, that's men over 50 who 1 in 7, and black men are more at risk than white men are for this.
I know.
Then I'm taking the platform that I have, speaking to those men already, and broadening it, in heightening it, I guess, with a very precise and laser focused message of go get checked. Just get your PSA checked. It's a very simple blood test. You have one now, I have one, and we ship it out to guys, and it's so easy to get it done. So that's my message. That's my purpose. That's my calling. The coaching is still there, but now I'm like hyper focused on what we'll refer to as men's health. It's not, you know, when we first started, it was about like we're all showing off how ripped we are and stuff. We still are, but now it's being ripped with this new situation to really dive deeper into what we tell men to do. Do your cardio, do your training, get your mindset right, eat your right food, you know, make sure everything's in balance in your life. So now I'm required to do that even more than I've been required before, because let's admit, we genetically, plus the years and years of effort from being an athlete to all of that, is just gone into it. It's pretty easy for us now. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's true, but
yeah, yeah.
it's not because the genetic component. It's the genetics plus all of the years of work that we put into it. So we're at a place in life over the age of 50 where, you know, we can do things at half the speed that we're asking our guys to do. But now it's not like that for me anymore. I got to dive in deeper. So I can almost relate to a guy that comes to me and says, "Hey, I need to lose 100 pounds. You don't know what it's like." Well, maybe I don't know what it's like to need to lose 100 pounds, but I know what it's like to battle something even a little bit more nefarious than maybe extra weight, and that's cancer.
100%, man. That you said it so well. Like, you know, all the discipline of you know, eating right and exercise and the recovery portion, all of those things, you know, because we've been doing it for so long, kind of isn't ingrained. But I also battled with like a lung disorder that almost killed me and had to go through that. And that was like, I mean, it's not as far as where you're at. Well, actually I was almost dead. So you know, I had to change everything and change that mindset to be like, oh man, I gotta really go extra and do these things. And even when I was turning 40, you know, it led me down to a really dark road. So looking at you now and looking at where, you know, your what you've done in the past and, you know, your entire discography, I guess, of what you've been doing over the years, right? Fitness discography. You know, now that you're here, it is amazing because yes, now you have to do that work that every other guy says that, oh, well, I don't have time, or, you know, like all, you know, the excuses that come up right now. Hey man, I know where you're coming at. And in fact, it's even more important for me to do these things. So let's go back. Let me just step back and go, what is prostate cancer? Like, what is it?
So it is just the cells in our body. We all have some sort of cancer lurking in our body, whether it's in our prostate or somewhere else. What happens is eventually our immune system is just not able to overcome the battle that's happening between these bad cells and these good cells. So it just so happened that in my prostate, the gland that is right above the anus that's responsible, it's an excretory gland that is responsible for creating semen in our body. The urethra goes right down through it. So men typically, the first sign with something going on in a man's prostate is urinating multiple times throughout the night, slow urination, dripping, and things like that. But guys, what they'll do is they'll just kind of blow it off and go, I'm getting older, whatever, and don't take immediate action. So what might be happening during that process is these cells, the cancerous cells are overtaking the good cells and creating dis-ease in the prostate, dis-ease, right? The cells are no longer operating at ease. They've been discombobulated for whatever reason, stress, lifestyle, chemical exposure, endocrine disruptor exposure, all of these different things that we're being attacked by on a daily basis will eventually wear our immune system down to the point where the cancerous cells overtake the good ones. So for me, the way I found out was through a simple blood test, because you and I both require that our guys take blood tests when they come into our program, because we're smart trainers. We understand that anything else is just throwing stuff at a wall, hoping it sticks.
Right.
So I'm doing that. And as a man over 50 who's boosted my testosterone naturally, no TRT, no HRT, none of that stuff, I don't need it. I'm solely looking at my testosterone numbers while I'm sitting in the parking lot of the gym one day, and my concierge doctor says, Clark, yeah, that's great, but your PSA is 9.8. You might want to go get checked. So that was the first step in the process of discovery for me. The next thing I do, I go to my doctor. He does the DRE, the digital rectal exam that nobody wants, and being the creator that I am, the digital creator, the influencer, the content guy, I turn my phone on, set it on the stool, bend over while he's sticking his finger up my butt and tells me, you can hear in the video, oh, I feel something here, but I'm not too worried about it. So this is the first thing I want men to understand. Just because your doctor is not too worried about it doesn't mean that you shouldn't make it something that's on the top of your list to check off, I'm good or I'm not good. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of blew it off a little bit. If he ain't worried, I ain't worried.
Right.
So I go on about my life. He hits me back. And then if you want to cut me off and ask
okay, I'm going to cut you. Okay, I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to cut you off a few times because you said 9. Let's go back to the test. You got the PSA test back. And your concierge says you have a 9. What should it be? Like, what's why?
Below 4.
Below 4. So anything above 4 and above, you need to.
Not good. So if you're around 50, most general practitioners or urologists will tell you that anything below a 4 is acceptable, but they're going to start watching you there. You should be at like 0.0 something.
Okay.
Typically, you want to have 0 PSA in your blood. So PSA is prostate specific antigen. It's a protein that's released. A false positive might happen when a guy ejaculates. So if he has sex, he jerks off right before he goes to the doctor, he's going to have PSA that's released in his blood from that. Or if he's riding a bike and the prostate's being massaged basically from the seat,
right?
You're doing this on the bike, so your prostate is right there and it's getting massaged. So it's releasing PSA. So if you go to the doctor the next day, you might get a number that's elevated and instantly you're in fear.
Right.
PSA is not an indication of cancer.
Okay.
PSA is a check engine light. That's all it is.
Okay.
It's saying, hey, Funk, hey, Clark, go get checked. Something might be up, but something might not be up.
Okay.
And then your urologist should ask you, did you have sex last night? Did you ejaculate? Did you ride a bike? Did you, jump on a pogo stick that was going up your butt or whatever?
Totally. I love how you use the pogo stick because we used to jump up and down on pogo sticks. We know what pogo sticks are.
Yeah. So a 4 and below is acceptable, but that is relative too, because prostates come in all different sizes, right? So you could have a large prostate, which would make your PSA even greater because there's just a larger mass there.
Right.
So there's a calculation that they do. I think it's like 1% based upon the size. But how many guys know the size of their prostate?
No one.
I mean, they go around measuring their wieners, but you can't measure your prostate. So
okay,
unless you go get an MRI, which I'm getting tomorrow just to make sure I'm still good.
Okay.
So from there, I go get the next level. So I go from PSA check in the blood. They can also check PSA in urine now.
Okay.
So there's tests for that. So then you go to the digital rectal exam. If you feel something a little weird there, then you go to the MRI, which there's different types of MRI. And what I've learned that the 3 Tesla MRI is a much better imaging, so they can really see where it's at, how detailed it is. And then you get a score back from that called a PIRAD score. And I happen to score the highest on the PIRAD number. I was a 5 out of 5. So my doctor came back to me and said, unless you're an anomaly, there's an 85% chance that you have cancer.
Right.
And I said, well, Doc, I am an anomaly. Look at me. I'm 60. I'm fit.
Yeah.
And, I'm joking, of course, but I kind of felt then, okay, maybe we're going to have an issue. So from there, you go to the next step, which is, so now the whole time your insurance is involved. So the insurance turned down my MRI.
What?
Guys, if your insurance turns anything down, immediately push back. Immediately. Don't wait for your doctor. Don't wait for anybody. Now, I don't know what it's like in Canada, but here in the States, the insurance companies are in charge of all that. So in the States, guys, you got to push back today, because I thought, oh, if the insurance company is turning it down, it's not that big of a deal. I'm Clark Bartram. I'm fit. This is my mindset. So we finally pushed back, appealed it, got it approved, get the MRI. I score a 5 out of 5 on a PIRAD, 85% chance. So then we go to the biopsy. Now, this is where I went wrong, and I did the wrong thing. Okay. Any questions here?
Yeah, so, I go on? Okay, no, this is perfect. So get the test, go to the doctor, get the rectal exam, which every man should get anyway. But most guys, I don't want, finger up my butt, which is unbelievable. I mean, come on, guys. Like,
it takes 2 seconds and it's no big deal. Exactly. If it's gay, you're making it gay in your 100%. Mind by saying, that's dumb.
100%. So, and then the MRI. So now you get the MRI back, and now it's a biopsy. Now, let me just ask you a question. When did all of this happen? Because right now it's January 4th, 2024. When did this whole thing start?
About 9 months ago.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And that's another thing too, yes. is we can talk about the time.
We will.
So let me finish out this timeline here. So we go from the MRI to the biopsy. So the 3 Tesla MRI is the good one, which is what I'm getting tomorrow, because now I know to ask for it. You can ask for what you want. You can push back on what you want. You can tell them, no, this is what I heard. This is what I'm looking for. So I go in and he says, we're going to do a biopsy. So you have an MRI guided biopsy, which is only 1 or 2 holes into your prostate, or you can do a 12 core random biopsy, is what I did. So what happened was I learned about the MRI guided biopsy while I had my random biopsy scheduled. And I went to my urologist, who doesn't do guided MRIs because they don't have the machine. He said, oh no, I know where it is. I've seen it good enough. I can go in there and get a good gauge on where to put these holes in you. Okay. But 12 holes. Now you run the risk of staph infection. You run the risk of MRSA. You run the risk of some sort of infection. They give you antibiotics, a shot and some pills, but guys have died from the biopsy because they got infection. So you want the least amount of holes in you as possible. So if at all, ask for a guided MRI, because they know, like, we're going to go right here and right here, 2 holes and we're done. They did 12 in me. I get up, my wife's in there, I'm bleeding from my dick, I'm bleeding from my ass, and it's a mess. Come back later, we look at him, and he tells me we found cancer. Out of the 12 core samples, there were 7 that were cancer, 6 of which were a 3 + 4 on the Gleason scale. Now, the Gleason scale is apparently a doctor years ago who came up with this testing system that rates the amount of cells and how bad the cancer is in any given part of your prostate. Now, remember, if your prostate's the size of a walnut, they're just randomly throwing needles in there. You may or may not have gotten the worst part of it So you don't know. So I had 6 that were 3 plus 4 and 1 that was 4 plus 3. They still equal 7, but the 4 being first makes it a little bit more scary. So now they send out the tumor they look at that. It comes back at 8 out of a 10. So they give me a cancer rating of unfavorable, intermediate risk, type 2B, 2C, which means I have to get 2 types of therapy if I do standard of care. So I'll stop there for any questions.
Okay, so now, so you get you get a different biopsy that they're poking holes in you. You're bleeding all over the place. It's probably painful, I'm sure, at some points. But there's another one that the guided one. Okay, guided meaning yes, they can see it and they're going through. Yeah, it's actually what I got on my back. Actually, a guided burning when they're burnt the things on my back. You know, they have the TV going and they know exactly where they're doing. That's what you want, because yeah, you don't want someone randomly doing that. But of course you wouldn't know. How would you know, right? Like you're hearing.
And now you know, because that's my whole mission is
Right.
I am putting everything out there, man. Like no holds barred. I'm not hiding from anything. I'm telling guys everything because I want guys to be aware of what the process looks like,
Right.
so they can make educated decisions.
Yes.
So with this timeline of 9 months, normal people, right?
Yeah.
Normal people are all going, Clark, when you're going to get it taken out, when you're going to get radiated, when you're going to get chemo, when you're going to get hormone therapy. Hopefully never.
Okay.
Hopefully never. That's the goal, because here's the deal. I'm responsible. Like my lifestyle, as healthy as I look, my lifestyle is what led me to here today. Like I am 100% completely responsible for this. So if my lifestyle is what created it, my lifestyle can get me out of it.
Yeah.
By doing the modifications that we talked about earlier. Because look, I'm not perfect. I'm not sitting here acting like I am. I look great, but man, I've had alcohol, I've had weed, I've had all of this stuff, and been around hormone disruptors, been around too much stress, all of these things that collectively will add to dis-ease in your body.
Right.
And all of that has to manifest somehow, somewhere. For me, it didn't manifest in a fat body. It manifested in prostate cancer.
Right.
So now I get to deal with it.
Okay, that makes sense. So what is the treatment process?
So there's 2 schools of thought here now. So you have what we refer to as standard of care or allopathic medicine, which is what we all go to, our doctors with the white coats and the stethoscopes, who do standard of care treatment. Now, standard of care for prostate cancer is one of typically 5 or 6 different things. The first one is surgery. Cut it out, which I am not going to do. I'm not cutting my prostate out. I don't want to do it. The second one is radiation. Radiation has come a long way. So you can do internal radiation with seed implants, and you can do external radiation with external beam, whether it's proton or photon, or like focal or whole gland. Like there's a lot of different things depending on your prostate cancer. Mine, yours, everybody's is going to be different. So surgery, and just like you have to treat yours specifically to you.
Okay.
And this is the problem with standard of care. They treat everybody the exact same way.
Okay.
With the treatment.
Right.
And it's radical. So then from there, you've got cryotherapy. You can freeze it out. You've got hormone therapy, which to me is the most barbaric and worst. Now, we're testosterone guys. We teach men how to boost testosterone naturally. Because mine is unfavorable intermediate risk, they have to treat it, or they say they have to treat it with 2 different modalities. One being radiation, for example, and the other being a hormone therapy. In the 1940s, a doctor came up with castration. They used to cut your balls off, like literally cut your sack off.
Oof.
Now they chemically castrate you, take your testosterone from 784, which where mine was at when I was checking it, down to 0.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
They make Clark Bartram a woman going into menopause and all of that sort of stuff. Wow. I am not interested in that. It's not on the radar. So I'm not getting surgery. I'm not getting hormones. So if I went standard of care, which I am trying not to.
Yeah.
Right now, what's top of mind for me, based upon my education, is seed implantation with minimal external being, so doing both of those. But I'm not. I don't plan on doing those. But I'm prepared by educating myself.
Right.
But on the other side, I hired a doctor in Scottsdale, Arizona, who came highly recommended, who looks at me as an individual. Now, this is really what separates what I'm doing from what most guys would do.
Right.
Most guys would let their anxiety dictate their treatment.
Totally.
They would instantly listen to their urologist because we've been trained from birth to listen to the nice guy or the nice lady in the white coat with the stethoscope with all the stuff, all the diplomas, and say, just do what they say.
Right.
I'm not going to do that because my urologist is the surgeon. He wants to operate on me because he believes, one, in what he does,
Right.
which is great. Two, he's got bills to pay. That's
Right.
just the reality of it.
True.
So that's what he's going to recommend. If I just go in there and trust what he's saying without researching all of the options, both standard of care and we'll call it holistic, I would be foolish to just listen to him. So what we've done on the other side is look at data. We have over 100,000 data points on me. Heavy metals, chemicals, parasites. I've shit, pissed, bled, and spit in more containers than I can tell you. So we look at everything that's in my body. And right now, here's what I'm doing. I take this pack in the morning, good old red, white, and blue. This pack in the afternoon, this pack at night. So we're dealing with bacteria that we found in my gut.
Right.
That isn't in the right proportions that it should be. We found heavy metals in my body, triclosan, stuff that's in your toothpaste that we swallow every single day. All of these hormone disruptors that we put on our armpits, we put on our hair, we spray on our body, we rub all over ourselves, we soak in, we spray Roundup and let it float back on us and don't think twice about it. All of this stuff adds up over time, and we found it in my body. If I went and just got my prostate cut out and my doctor sent me on my own, there would still be all of those things in my body that would manifest somewhere else later down the line.
Okay.
So if I got it radiated, I would still have a prostate, and I could still get prostate cancer again later if I don't deal with all of this stuff that we discovered. Most guys won't discover that. One, it's not cheap. Two, it's not convenient. Three, it's not covered by insurance. Four, it's not in the typical protocol that we would follow, standard of care.
Okay.
So while people say, Clark, what are you doing? They associate that with going to a regular doctor, and they don't realize that I'm doing more than 95% of guys on planet Earth.
For sure. Now, you said there's 5 things. So you said surgery, radiation, cryotherapy, hormone, but what is the 5th?
There are more than that. There's HIFU, high intensity focal ultrasound.
Okay.
So they go with ultrasound now. There's different types of radiation that you can do. There's gamma knife, which is another sort of radiation. Really what I've discovered is there's a lot of the same modalities that have different names. Like you would name your program.
Right.
Yeah. You think of a great name for your program because you want it to sound proprietary. You want it to sound very unique, when really push-ups are push-ups.
Right.
But if you say the alpha push-up, it's like, oh, what's the alpha push-up? That's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you add some little modification to it. Yeah. So that's the same thing that they do in this. It's a little tweak to the same thing.
Okay.
You know, gamma knife. Ooh, that sounds cool. I'm going to get the gamma knife.
Right.
It's at Loma Linda University. That's the best university on the planet. These guys are really smart there. They're just radiating you. It's all it is.
Right. Okay. So you're doing out of all of the stuff that you just talked about, right? You're starting with something? Because is there going to be like, okay, you're starting here because obviously you don't want surgery. You don't want the radiation. I don't think you're doing the radiation. And you definitely don't want the hormone. The hormone, that's it. Like, you might as well, transition, because that's really what that's I mean, I don't even know when that comes down the road. I guess
There's immunotherapy as well too. That's one I didn't talk
Okay.
about.
Okay. So is there a hierarchy in which one you should start with? And I know that it's going to be different for most guys. I totally know that. But at least if someone is going to be like, okay, I know that I don't want to just start with surgery or start with
Yeah.
radiation or definitely not start with the hormone therapy, which 100% I think that should be taken off the table completely unless like it's the final thing, because I'm sure there's going to be doctors out there who are going to want to push that right off the bat, right? Depending on who your doctor is or whomever it is. So what's the hierarchy?
So the
What you're
hierarchy,
doing.
so you
What you're
asked
doing
me,
for you,
Clark
yes, for
Bartram,
you,
right?
for you, yes, for you.
So my opinion is this, and this is what I recommend to guys. None of them, because what happens is you need to get out of your emotions and get on the balcony and observe what's going on from a place that you're not connected to, that's going to cause you to do something right away that may or may not be the right decision for you. So you asked when this whole thing started, and I said 9 months ago. Most people are going to go, cancer, 9 months? What the hell, dude? Why didn't you do something right away?
Right.
Well, I did. I educated myself. I continue to educate myself. I looked at data in my body that would be the reason for cancer. So cancer, like PSA, cancer is a check engine light. It's a symptom to a problem that's underlying. So if I treat this cancer, let me give you an analogy that really will make sense for the guys that we talk to.
Sure.
I go out, I've got a beautiful Jeep right here with my program, Maximize Man, all over it. I turn it on, the check engine light comes on in it. And I get tired of seeing that check engine light. So I'm like, I'm going to go fix this. I go back to my shed, I grab a hammer, and I smash the dashboard, and the check engine light goes out.
Right.
Did that fix what it was alerting me to in the engine?
No.
The answer is no. So that's the same thing that you're doing when you go get it cut, burned, radiated, or poisoned out of your body. You are smashing the check engine light and not dealing with what it is alerting you about. What it alerted me about was, Clark, there are chemicals in your body like triclosan, which is in toothpaste and hand sanitizers and all of this stuff that we're slathering our bodies with. If you continue to consume those things, even after you have your prostate removed from your body, there's still going to be poison in your body that may or may not have caused it directly or indirectly. It had something to do with it.
Sure.
There's heavy metals in there that we're exposed to from a multitude. It could be the salmon that we've been consuming forever. It's just not good salmon.
Right.
You know, there's mercury in there and there's different things like that. So I am taking my time to learn, because prostate cancer is slow growing.
I was going to ask
It
you
is
that question.
slow. But here, I'm not dumb. I check my PSA every week.
Okay.
To make sure that what I'm doing with all of this stuff is moving me in the right direction. So there's something called PSA velocity. If my PSA suddenly went from 11.4 to 21.5, now there's something that is being alerted to me, and I'm going to have to take different action than what I'm taking here. But maybe not immediate. Maybe I take another step back and go, there might be a false positive. There might be a spike here. This is tricky stuff.
Right.
These cancer cells are very smart.
I know.
And guys react too quickly. And oftentimes, see, here's the problem with surgery. You have the risk of being incontinent and having erectile dysfunction for the rest of your life. At 60 years old, I don't want to piss my pants or never get a boner again.
Right. Yeah.
Even if I never had sex again, I just like waking up with a hard dick. It makes me feel like a man.
100%.
Keep it real.
100%. 100%.
And pissing my pants doesn't make me feel like an alpha male.
No.
It makes me feel like, oh, fuck, man, I'm
Yeah.
So neither one of those things are exciting to me. So why would I rush into that? Because I've been given this word that we've associated with immediate action, fear, and all of this sort of stuff. When I was the one that responsible for it, if I wound it up, I can unwind it.
Okay. I love it.
I believe that much in my human body. I believe in that much in the adaptation of what we are as humans. We're the most adaptive organism on the known universe.
Your mindset.
I had a staph infection in my hand right here.
Yeah.
Doctor immediately said, I'm going to put you on antibiotics. I'm thinking, do I want to weaken my immune system right now with antibiotics? Or if I don't do anything and I watch it and I'm smart and I'm looking to see if there's anything, making sure I'm not getting shivers and the temperature and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. I'm smart. Like I'm watching my PSA. I'm getting a MRI tomorrow to make sure it's not growing.
Right.
I'm doing all the right stuff. But if I watch this and it's going away like it is my immune system getting stronger? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So if my immune system is getting stronger, and earlier I said my immune system got weaker and those cancer cells started to win, what happens when my immune system gets stronger? It starts to win. So I'm training myself to get right? So that takes me to immunotherapy. The first thing I looked at was I went down to Mexico and I found a clinic. Typically in TJ here are all of these places where people are flying to. They take technology from Germany and they bring it here closer. Yeah. And they do things where they take your blood out, they fortify your blood, they make your immune system stronger, they make all of these little soldiers more capable. We get them all jacked like we do with our guys, and we send them back out into the world to be more efficient men. That's the same thing they do with immunotherapy. They fortify your blood. They fortify your immune system. They put that blood back in you. And the idea is that your immune system is stronger. You have more strong cells than you have weak cells. And it suffocates the cancer and it goes away.
Right. Okay. Wow. That's man, your mindset is incredible. I mean, it's not surprising, but you know, when you get the C word, it's panic a lot of times. And it's funny because, you know, there's guys in the Brotherhood in my program who have had cancer and have beat it. And it's you know, like, and I hear, you know, they'll tell their story inside the thing and it'll be like, man, that's incredible. Like, but I always think, oh, maybe it was just really small, right? But that's not the mindset that I need to have. It's like, shit, man, like that's incredible, whatever they did. And they always attested to their health, like the fact that they were as healthy as they were at the time that they got it really and truly helped them to battle it mentally, physically, emotionally, because they knew, okay, listen, okay, let's like you. I mean, I don't know deep in their stories, but like you, they stepped back and went, okay, wait a minute. I don't want to rush into this because what is going to happen if I get surgery? What is going to happen if I get radiation? What's going to happen if I do hormone therapy? Like, do I want to even go there? You're Clark Bartram, man. Like you're in a different level than most. Well, 99.9999999% of men in their, you know, over 30, let alone almost 60. So that mindset of I'm healthy, so let's you know, let's turn this around and battle cancer like I battle, you know, belly fat, and like I battle sarcopenia, natural loss of muscle, like I battle low testosterone. Like it's that same mindset. Does that make Am I making sense there?
Oh, complete sense, because that's what we teach, right? We teach mindset first because we understand that no nutritional program is going to last longer than somebody's mind being set to do it for however long it takes to get it done. And that's the commitment I have to do this as well. Even though you have a lot of very caring people sending you all sorts of information, pushing you. My wife, for example, when you're going to start doing something, I'm like, I think she just finally realized that I am doing so much more. So let's talk about my guy here really quick, because you said something that made me think about even if a guy does standard of care. So typically, when you get this information and you make an appointment to go get radiation, for example, there's probably a 4-month time zone in there, and they're going to put you on hormones to zap you and basically transition you, because that's what happens. It's the same drug that they put a guy who wants to transition from male to female, Lupron. So anyway, you got a 4-month time period. Say a guy's 50, 60, 70 pounds overweight, the typical normal guy that we see that signs up for our program. That's the norm for us.
Yeah.
So when I went to my guy, I drove 6 hours to Scottsdale, Arizona. I go into this clinic where he's treating cancer patients. I walk into a world-class gym.
Wow.
There are old ladies in there with stage 4 cancer. There are guys in there with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He's got them training, dumbbell rowing 70 pounds. You don't see anyone with a IV and bald walking around sick with dark eyes. These are people in here training and doing EWOT training, exercise with oxygen and different things. And he said, Clark, if any of these people need to go get surgery, radiation, or any of that, they're going to be stronger. They're going to be more fit. They're going to be more capable to deal with this. So here's what I would say to a guy. If you're overweight, which 3/4 of American men are, and you have a diagnosis, whether it's your prostate or anywhere else in your body, and it doesn't even need to be cancer, it could be anything else. My question to you is, why would you sit there for 4 months and not do anything to get healthier before you go in to get this radical procedure done on your body? Why wouldn't you join Funk's program? Why wouldn't you join my program? Why wouldn't you bust your butt doing everything you need to do to prepare yourself to come out the other side better? Because when I talked to a doctor one time, one of the questions, I'm going in and I'm taking camera crews in now. I'm shooting a documentary about this.
Okay.
I've raised a bunch of money. I'm shooting a documentary. And I asked the doctor, I said, what's the difference between me and a guy 100 pounds getting this treatment? The doctor said nothing. I said, are you stupid? How could you say that?
Right.
How could you say that? There's a ton of difference. Why wouldn't you tell a guy, hey, while you're waiting, Joe, I want you to get your ass to the gym. I want you to eat a Mediterranean diet. I want you to get your mindset right. I want you to get around some people in a community, like the Brotherhood or like the Maximized Man elite community and be around guys that are going to lift you up. Why wouldn't you tell him this stuff? You're being negligent as a doctor if you're not suggesting that. You should have me on staff. You should have Funk on staff. And after they talk to you, I'm the next guy. Funk is the next guy that they go and talk to. Because you know what we're going to do? We're going to build them up. We're going to tell them what they need to do next, right now, today. You're going to go home, you're going to walk. Then you're going to text me when you're done walking and let me know that you did it. Then I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to put 175 dudes around you that are going to talk shit about you unless you're doing what you say you want to do. Man, you got me fired up, dude.
This is beautiful. I don't even need to say anything here. Keep going. Shake that mic, baby. Shake that mic. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, yeah, this is huge. And the fact that you're documenting this is even bigger. I'm so happy that you're doing this because this needs to be seen. More and more of this needs to be watched, and men need to be enlightened. Like I feel like I almost have to I don't know what the word, I feel like I have to jump through screens and shake people for them to do their tests. Like I just did my complete hormone. So I'm waiting for my PSA. I'm waiting for my colon. Like, yeah, man, you got to poo and put it in the thing and then put it in the bag, and you got to walk over, or for me it's walk over and, drop it off at FedEx and then walk back over here and drop it off there. Yeah, man, of course, because I need to know where I'm at so I know what to do. And then I got to continuously do that. It's like, guys, you need to know at least where your T levels are to start, because once you get that, then it's going to start the process. But I think the complete hormone or your PSA or what have you is key, because that's going to give you more than just your T. It's going to give you your prostate and other things that are going to be very, very important, specifically at our age, because it's 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer. And how many?
And black men are more at risk.
Yes,
so
yes.
There's a guide that they use that they've brought it down to 40. But here's the deal. If you're getting your blood work done anyway and you're 30, why not say, hey, doc, throw my PSA in? He goes, well, you're not 40 yet. Yeah. So what?
Exactly.
You are in control. You need to take control of your health. So here, with respect to what you said about jumping through a screen, if a guy had a Jeep like mine, which is a vintage, beautiful Jeep, he's going to go out there, pop the hood, pull the freaking oil thing out, look at it, put it in, check the spark plugs, do all of this sort of stuff. It's the exact same thing. Pooping in a bag, sending it off. You're pulling up the hood. You're checking the engine of the most valuable asset you have. The most valuable resource is your body. So I would be remiss if I didn't say 2 things right now. One, if you're in Funk's community, buy his blood test right now, today. Don't put it off. Don't go ask anyone permission. It's a couple $100 at most. It's cheaper than any insurance. It's easier than any going to Quest or whatever your labs are there. Get it today. Get it done. And then report back to Funk or whoever group you're in within his organization, and let guys know and put pressure on other guys. And then I have a nonprofit organization called Check It Like a Man, checkitlikeaman.org, or you can go on my Instagram and click my link. I need money to fund this thing. So I'm not afraid or ashamed or embarrassed to ask for people to donate $10, $20, $100, $1,000,000, whatever you have to help me fund this, because I'm hiring PR guys. I'm flying all around. I'm speaking anywhere I can go. I'm getting on podcasts. It costs money to do that. And if I'm going to be the spokesperson for this, I don't feel I should have to fund it myself. I think all guys should collectively come together, women who want their men to be healthy, kids who want their dads to be alive, to throw something towards this, because I'm promising you, man, I'm on a mission. Absolutely. I know I'm the perfect guy for this. And I want to tell a story that helps guys understand that there are opportunities to handle this in ways that you never thought of before, because you've never been exposed to it. I'm going to expose you to it. I have so many plans, but these things take money. So if the Red Cross can raise money and Susan Komen, breast cancer and all that, I want to be the go-to for prostate cancer. And another thing I'm doing, Funk, is I'm changing the words that we use. I'm not fighting it. Like, I want to change the whole framework around how I talk about this. You know, I haven't dropped my head or put my tails between my legs. I am redefining what this looks like for men. So I want to change the whole narrative for guys, how they talk about it, because that is the mindset piece. If we walk around with this victim mentality, why me, what's going on, all this sort of stuff, it only lowers our energy, which affects the cellular response in our body that helps, wake us up to overcome whatever imbalance is in there.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure. Hey, you know what? I don't know if man, you've been going through so much, but like I love the fact that you can be someone that people can connect with, right? Because I think I sent somebody to you. I don't know if he messaged you or what have you. I'm not even sure, because sometimes, I'm so happy we had this, because I think now this is going to open the door for other men who maybe not even just battling prostate. It could be colon. It could be it could be something else, to come to you, right? Because if I come back with a PSA score of 6 or whatever, or my colon's whatever, I'm coming to you. I'm saying, okay, help me out here. Let's go. How am I, give me the steps, right? Because when there's someone there who's going through it or gone through it or what have you, those are the ones you want to go to. And the fact that you've gone through and done all of this research and the tests and continuously educate yourself with so much information that most guys won't do, or because they panic, right? Or their wife panics, right? Because a lot of times it's the family members around you too who are going to panic you into doing something that you don't even know, and you're just so clouded with the emotions and this and that. I can't believe this is happening to me. And now your wife and your sister and your mom are telling you to do the radiation or the hormone because their doctor. Well, the doctor says, it's people around you too, right? When deep down inside you're like, oh man, I just want to be able to handle this, and take this on my own without having. I know everyone has great intentions, 100%, but the education doesn't. It needs to be everyone around you. There needs to be a freaking. It's like Ananon. What's it? Al-Anon. There's Al-Anon and stuff for drug addicts. And for the family, there needs to be something for the family too, because that can overwhelm somebody, because you're not always there with them, right? Like, we're not always able to Zoom, and then I get off this Zoom call, let's say, get off this podcast or what have you, and now I'm back home, an hour's gone by, I'm starting to feel horrible, and then wife comes in, and like your wife says, "What are you doing about this?" Hey man, I am doing stuff about it. Why are you going to the doctor? Did you call your doctor? Did you do this? And now it's like, now you're Clark's out of the picture now because everyone else is here, right? So it's nice to know that you're there actually. So at least there's that person who can guide, right?
Yeah. And I want to help as many guys as possible. And so many men have already said, Clark, I would not have known that I had prostate cancer unless I saw you on your Instagram speaking the way you've spoken for years. You've been consistent in your aggressive style. I love it. I will never let anyone talk, and I just the other day, one of my coaching clients who's graduated my program,
Nice.
He said, Clark, there's a guy in my world who watches you. He just found out he has a very aggressive form of prostate cancer, and he would not have known if you were not on there all the time saying what you say. So here's the thing is prostate cancer is very asymptomatic. You don't know you have it. It's lurking in you, and you don't feel sick, you don't lose weight, you don't have any of these symptoms, right?
Right.
That's why you need to get checked. So we go back to get the PSA done.
Yeah.
So if you did get a diagnosis, absolutely get to me. And that gave me a new idea of something that I want to create. I just need more people on my team to do things for me. That's why I need more money. So anyway, you have to think of it like a football team. You have a quarterback and you have people that are in positions to do certain things. There's chaos that happens around you, but you come back to a huddle and you let one person speak whatever is happening next in the midst of the chaos. Why? Because you've trusted this person because they've proven in Pop Warner, in high school, in college, now in the professional league, that they are capable of leading 11 men down a field to a touchdown, points, success, all of what we look. So if a guy relates it to football, whether it's Canadian or not, it's just a little wider field. It's the same thing. There's one person that's in charge that when the chaos hits and the noise comes, he says, listen up, here we go, here we go. Everyone knows to shut up. So that's where I'm at. I'm listening to my quarterback, who's my doctor in Scottsdale. So here's what I love about him. When I get those well-intended people that come at me and say, you need to do this, you need to do that, and then I start questioning because I'm just a regular guy. At the end of the day, I want to get rid of this too. I have to go back to him and say, Doc, what do you think about this? I love when he says, I don't know. That's the last thing you think you want to hear from your doctor. But it's the best thing when he says, after I don't know, I don't have the data yet. When I have the data, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a test to come back that you already did. Wow. So we're in that place now. The technology and the science behind prostate cancer evolves so quickly.
Sure.
It's moving so fast. So if you can push time, remember, it's slow growing. And if you're doing things like training, eating a Mediterranean diet, thinking positive thoughts, taking supplements that aren't anecdotal, they're actual real products. Like I have a product now called Pectisol. It's modified apple pectin.
Okay.
And the company just happened to reach out to me. I quizzed their doctor. I found out this modified apple pectin is something that helps with what they want to talk to me about with the hormone therapy. So
Right.
I'm reading about that today. I got a whole website that I got to go through. So anyway, I've created a relationship with this company, and it's a great product that all men need. Hit me up. You should be taking it anyway, just to fortify your prostate. Like, don't be reactive, be proactive. So anyway, I forgot what the hell I was saying. But anyway, there's so much.
No, the quarterback. But you said that. So yeah, you got to listen to the one person, and I know that one person is the doctor in Arizona. And for me, I would just related that to when I work with the UFC, because I work with the UFC and it's chaos, right? Because we work with the fighters, but we coordinate everything from the time the fighters get there to fight night and everything in between. But there's one guy, right? Because we have a team, but there's one guy, Brock, who we listen to. And when we listen to him, like when chaos happens, like, you have the weigh-ins are happening and something's going on with the weigh-ins, or we got to change something up, or it's going to have to start late and we got to move these people here. And there's too many people outside. We got to bring them in. There's a lot of people who want to go, okay, well, let's do this. No. Let's go to Brock. Okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to blah, blah, blah. We're going to blah, blah, blah. We're going to do this, and we're going to take these guys and put them here. We're going to do this. You guys good? Yeah, let's go. And then we execute. When other people who work with our team, because we have like the Canadian team, so we work with whenever UFC Canada or UFC Australia, New Zealand, we're the team. The other guys go, man, if that was my team, we would have just disintegrated. I can't believe how fast you guys just got all of the fighters, put them into the room, made sure that this was thing. Like they're blown away. Why? Because we listen to the quarterback, the one who, and that's what it's all about, listening to the quarterback. When you go and hire Clark or join his program, and Clark's telling you all of these things, you listen. You don't try to deviate. You don't go over, oh, well, you know what? He did say do this, but I'm going to just do this on my own. You're not going to get the results. You're not going to get, it's just going to, it doesn't work. You're hiring Clark or whomever because they know what to do. They've done it, or they're researching or what have you, and they're leading you down the path of success. Right. And the fastest way to success, and then sustainable success, as opposed to, okay, thanks for the information, and then doing something totally different. It's like, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But yes,
A
you
lot of
being the
guys won't do
quarterback.
that too, especially when chaos starts to hit. That's
Right.
why teams break down. You start losing, things start going a different direction.
Right.
You might not be getting the results as fast as you want, but here's this product I wanted to show.
Okay, yes.
It's
all.
modified citrus pectin. I said apple. There's apple sitting over here. I saw modified citrus pectin. There's powder, and then there's also capsules. But this, honestly, if guys need to get on this, But look, ultimately, I want to speak directly to your guys that watch us right now. Funk and I have dedicated ourselves to really helping men feel the way we feel and experience life on a level that isn't possible if you're overweight, if you're feeling bad, if you're not living in your healthiest body. Now, Funk is shredded and ripped, man. You're looking great. I saw the photos the other day. I feel like I look pretty good. This isn't what we're about. Like, that is a byproduct of what we stand for. And what we stand for is lifestyle modification that is possible for anybody, regardless of where you might find yourself or what story you've told yourself as it relates to your genetics and your family and all of that sort of thing. It really comes down to a choice. You have a choice today to say, yes, I want to do this. I've been watching you, Funk, forever. I've been seeing you, Clark, since I was in high school. I'm finally going to make a decision. There's a guy right now that I finally told, you know what? Don't waste my time anymore. When you're ready, I looked back on our conversations in direct messages, and it was one BS line after another. I'm like, bro, don't send me a video saying how excited you are to get started and you didn't get a call from my guy. That's a bunch of crap. You need to man up and make a decision. So whether you have a diagnosis of anything, if you find yourself today not feeling the way you want to feel, not able to pop your top anywhere and feel like I'm that dude, like I'm that dude. Like, me and Funk would have a problem when we walk in a room, like, who's that dude? Luckily, he's black and I'm white. He can be the black dude, I can be the white dude.
Exactly.
So we can
coexist together.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we love each other so much, man. It's there.
Totally.
But I want every man to feel that way. You want every man to feel that way. And that's why we're so consistent in our messaging. But guys get it twisted. They think we're out here trying to just make a buck, but that ain't what it is. Yeah, we got bills to pay like anybody else, and it's a business. We have a right to make money, but it's not at the expense of you. It's in your benefit to do these things, man. So I'm making an appeal right now to any man that sat around and wasted time and energy, because if you are in the demographic that we serve, you have less time behind, you have less time ahead of you than you have behind you. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. Again, it's funny you just said that about the commitment, because I just started this like informal 90-day challenge. Okay, it's an informal 90-day challenge to start, because we're focusing on nutrition and sleep and consistency and accountability. But in order to qualify, you have to do a few things. You got to post a picture shirtless. You got to do your accountabilities. But the posting the picture shirtless, that was the big one, right? Because everyone's like, oh, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up? Where do I sign up? I just told you exactly what you have to do. And it's inside the brotherhood. I'm making them jump through hoops to see who is actually serious. The ones who are serious are the guys who took their shirt off, took the picture. I told them, you got to get your testosterone levels checked, or now it's complete hormone checked. That's part of it, because we got to know where you're at and then where you're going to be in 90 days. You got to give me one of the things you're going to be doing this week when it comes to nutrition. You got to do the accountability. Like, hey man, if you're serious, these are the things you need to do, right? And you see all this, hey man, I didn't get the link to sign up. I didn't get this. How do I sign up? I just told you how to sign up. Oh, I'm not on Facebook. Then you're not serious, because all you have to do is just create a thing and join the group. So guys, it is like, it's enough of the lip service. Actions, and the margin of error and the margin of, our lifespan is very small now. I mean, yes, we can live till we're 100, and we're going to live till we're 100 doing burpees and pull-ups and throwing the football on the ground and picking it up and throwing it. I can't wait to throw the football with you. I'm coming to see you, by the way, and we're gonna go throw the football together. But yeah, it's all about the action, and it starts with getting your prostate checked. Like like actions. And you don't have to go sign up to see a doctor. You can get it through. How do we connect with you? Because, a lot of guys are going to listen to this, and they're going to want to connect with you for sure.
Yeah, so my Instagram is just at Clark Bartram. DMing me is the easiest way. And something that I did this morning, actually, my company that I use to do my blood work, my panel right now includes 7 different markers. You have the HDL, LDL, the total ratio between the two, free and total testosterone, cortisol, 2 liver enzymes, and PSA. So some guys don't want that full of a panel. So what we just did this morning, I just created PSA only. I'm making it a cheap look. Just get your PSA checked. Here's one. No excuses. I'm not marking it up a lot. I'm marking it up a little bit. I need to make some money. I'm a business. I ain't hiding from anyone.
Of course.
If doctors are making billions of dollars, Clark Bartram should be able to profit and use this money to do what he's doing as well. So I don't hide from anything. 100%. So that is there. My TikTok is the same that's on my Instagram. It's just the real Clark Bartram. But look, men, if I answer every one of my DMs, it's me.
Yeah.
I have people in there that do certain things, but when a message comes to me, I come in there and you will hear my voice or you will see a video of me. That's how I will respond to you, because you deserve that respect. With that being said, if there's any questions you have about this specifically, your PSA, prostate, if you have any fear related to it, reach out to me. I'm not going to charge you for my time. I'm going to tell you what I think is, I'm not a doctor, don't play one on TV, but I'm going to tell you what I think is the next best move for you based upon how I'm moving through this gracefully, thoughtfully, and with a whole lot of consideration and kind of taking out all the noise. I'm considering my wife in this. She's informed. My kids are informed. They're in my documentary. And I just really want to re-educate men on this process to help guys understand there are alternative ways of doing this that may or may not be as detrimental to you as surgery and radiation and hormone therapy and all of these things could be.
Man, that's awesome. We're gonna close there, because that message was incredible. So again, on Instagram, how do they connect with you on Instagram?
At Clark Bartram, ClarkBartram.
And that's how they get the PSA test, or you're just
there's a link on my Instagram. There's 3 links: one for my program, one for my PSA, and one for a free ebook or something like that. But just go there and hit the blood test one right there. And if you don't see it, if you have a hard time with technology, DM me, say, hey, what about that blood test? I will personally send you the link. You click it, you order it. It ships to your house. It's a very simple. I got the box in my office.
I saw it.
And then you get it. You drop 6 drops of blood in one square, 6 drops of blood in the other square. Let it dry. It goes down. The serum separates from the plasma. You send it in. It's got a self-addressed stamped envelope. I personally am at the blood facility because my buddy at the gym runs it.
Okay.
And you talk about a serendipitous relationship. So you don't need vials full of blood. Like, I'm learning so much about this process.
Okay.
It's insane.
That's amazing, man. Thank you so much, brother, for being here. And we're going to have you on again. We're going to continue this journey. We're going to continue this conversation. We're going to continue to educate men. And man, I love you so much, brother. And we'll see you soon for sure.
I love you too, brother. Peace.